because I miss that part when it comes on.
Yeah. Hello, hello, hello. Greetings from the Ironwood Forest National Monument here in southern Arizona. Thanks everybody for coming in. My friend Tim from seeouRVview stopped by to visit us. Hi, Tim. Good to see you.
Howdy, folks.
And let's see who we have here this evening. This is kind of a last minute pop-up live, so I really appreciate everyone being here. First in the house was my friend Busby Adventures. How you doing, Busby? Thanks for being here. And we have our member, Jolly Matilda Tracy from Virginia. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. Everybody's saying hello. We have Tim from Mo Bang for Your Bucks. Hi, Tim. Hope you're doing well over there. And Tim, I can't remember if you're back home or if you're out traveling again. I am Zaxxon. How you doing? Good. Good to see you. There's everybody saying hello. Small Town Tourist is here from Mesa, Arizona. Hi, guys. Hope you're doing well up there. It's going to be a cool one tonight. See who else we have here. Everybody's saying hello. Blistering Barnacles. Good evening. Good evening. How you doing? Jill is here. Hello, Jill. Welcome, welcome. If you guys could let me know if the sound is okay. We've got a little different setup here tonight. Give me some ones if it sounds okay, or if there's a problem with it dropping out, let me know that too, would you? Give me a couple of ones. Everything sound okay? Oh, Ava Potterfield. Okay, so Tim, give me some ones. All right, good. I'll press on then. We have Ava Potterfield and friends. Hello, Ava. Hope you're doing well. Looking forward to your live stream tomorrow night. We're going to make it there. We weren't able to go there, watch last Friday, but everyone in the chat, you got to make Ava Potterfield. And I was telling you about that. Have you watched that yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. It's pretty good. They're great musicians, and it's fun to watch. We'll usually put dinner on and then put Ava and Doug on the TV and watch them while we're eating dinner.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Everybody's saying hello. All right, so I have Tim from seeouRView. He's a content creator. He's been around. You've had your channel going for how long about?
Oh gosh, since about 2017.
2017, yeah. And so you were work camping this last year, right? Up
Right.
in Colorado.
Right, Gunnison.
Gunnison National Forest, is it?
Yep.
Okay. So what were you guys doing? You were work camping, and it looked like, watching your videos, it looked like you had a lot of responsibility, a lot of big area up there.
Well, I did maintenance for 25 campgrounds in the area, so I was all over the place.
25 campgrounds.
25 campgrounds.
Wow.
Gracie hosted the campground we were staying at, and then I worked maintenance for them, and which that meant anything from fixing a site post to delivering firewood to, you know, just anything that they need an extra pair of hands for.
Okay, so it was a family affair, right? So yourself and your wife, Gracie, for anyone who doesn't know, and Crystal, right? Your daughter, Crystal. So the three of you were working 25 campgrounds, and you were responsible for maintenance. Now, Gracie was camp hosting for the campground that you lived at while you were there. And then Crystal had some responsibility too, right?
Right. Well, the previous summer, she hosted that campground, so
Okay.
she helped out as well. Even this past year, she didn't officially work the campground, but she's always helping.
Okay.
So, you know, it was.
So looking at some of your Instagram post, you had a lot of animals and stuff up there.
A lot of moose, a
Lot
lot
of
of
moose,
deer,
yeah.
a couple of foxes, yep,
Yeah.
quite a bit. Cattle
Pretty good.
drives.
So 25 campgrounds, that seems like a lot to cover. You must have been running pretty hard most of the
It
time.
was a lot of miles. I put about 400 to 500 miles a week on that truck.
Oh, is that right? And
Yeah,
that was a
driving
company
around.
truck?
Company truck, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Wow.
And that also, I would go 3 towns over and pick up loads of firewood to bring back and distribute in the different areas too. So my truck was a 2-ton,
Mhm.
which would haul the big trailer, so I could haul about 700 bundles of firewood with the trailer and the truck.
Okay.
And that's a lot of wood.
Yeah. So were they fairly large campgrounds?
Some of them, most of them are around 15 to 20 sites. The one we were staying at and hosting, it's more like sites.
Okay. So that was a pretty
So
good size.
yeah, we had anywhere from 10 sites up to that one. That was the largest one.
So they have electric and water hookups? Or?
Not all the campgrounds. Our campground had less than half of them had electric and water.
Oh, okay. So they were
No, just
boondocking,
electric, no water. They have water at
water spigots around
Right.
the campground. Okay.
so, and then the rest of them are tent camping or boondocking. A lot of the campgrounds are just dry camping out there.
Oh, okay. So were they full most of the time?
The year before last, they were.
Oh,
I mean,
before COVID?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
the year before last, so 2021,
yeah.
we were pretty much full. Everybody was getting out of the cities for COVID.
Okay.
So we stayed full all season long. This season was busy, but nothing near like the previous season was.
Okay.
So we filled up a couple of times through the year, but we didn't stay full.
So you probably had a lot of new campers, like people that had been camping for the first time or fairly new at
We
it.
did have some.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you have any issues with the new campers on respecting the campground and respecting their neighbors? I mean, being a camp host like Gracie was, any conflict, you guys were right in the middle of it, right?
You
Had to
know,
resolve it.
though, up in that area, in the Gunnison National Forest, is a little different clientele. The most everybody that comes up there to camp, generations and generations of families. I've talked to people that they're bringing their kids up here, and their grandparents brought their great grandkids up there.
All right.
So as far as the etiquette and that, we had very few issues there.
Is that right?
The new camper issue was not remembering to put their awning up during windstorms. So we had some guys who brought a brand new 40-foot Class A rig up, camping for the night, partying for the weekend. Next thing you know, they're knocking on our door. Can you help us get our awning put back? And it literally ripped it completely off the rails and everything.
Wow.
So there was nothing we could do but pull it off the rig.
Oh, wow.
So
you guys were into helping campers that got into bad situations like that where they needed some help. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and being in a campground. So was the price reasonable?
The for electric sites, 30. I want to get it right. $30 a night for an electric site.
Okay.
11 a night for a non-electric. No, 22. I'm getting mixed up.
That's okay.
Because
that's all right.
you got your price for the America the Beautiful Pass members, which is half off.
Oh,
versus,
I see. Okay.
Retail price. So retail, it was non-electric is 22, electric is 30, and then on the half off with the discount, The non-electric sites are 11 because it's exactly 50 off. But then the electric sites, now you still got to pay for your electric full price.
Oh, you do?
So it's 11 plus 8 for the electric.
Okay.
So 19 and 9.
So was it National Forest campground, or was it privately owned inside the National Forest?
They are National Forest campgrounds. They are concessioned. So it's a little different than National Forest campgrounds. Normally, the National Forest employees will host the campground, police it, and all that. Here, they concession it out. So they'll give a company a permit to come in, use their employees. They take care and maintain the campground like a lease.
Okay, so you were an employee of that company,
Right.
that concession,
The concessionaire. Yeah.
You were an employee of that, and was the pay? I mean, you got probably free camp spot
Right.
while you were there. That's pretty good benefit.
Right. Campsite plus pay.
And then you got paid as well.
Right.
For your work there. Okay. Would you do it again?
Absolutely.
Okay. So being a work camper is it's pretty good, sounds like, because you can go up. What was the elevation up there?
We were above 9,000 feet.
Okay.
So our particular campground was 9,500, and they went anywhere from 7 up to 10.5.
And you said there were 25 campgrounds that you were responsible for. What was the distance, the farthest distance from one side to the other? I'm kind of trying to get an idea of how much, driving you did.
Well, there were 3 areas. So one area had 15 of the campgrounds, which is, about a 30 to 50 mile area. And then you would drive 50, 60 miles to the next area, which had 3 campgrounds that are spread out even further.
So 50 to 60 miles.
Oh, yeah. Oh. And then then the others is probably about 60 miles out to another couple of campgrounds.
Wow.
So there were some that were really out in the outlining areas.
So did you have like a schedule? You obviously couldn't do all that in one day, could you?
No.
So you probably had a schedule, or you had to react to whatever was going on.
Yeah, if there was a need somewhere, I would have to change my route or schedule and go there. But normally I would certain days of the week I would visit different campgrounds or do firewood one day, golf cart maintenance another.
Okay. So if somebody wants to work camp, you said you had a pretty good experience. So you guys are nomads. You're full-time nomads, right? You move place to place. And right now they're down here visiting us. You were in Texas for a while, taking care of some business there. And now you're making your way back up through Marana here, heading back to Quartzsite, which is where you're going to spend the winter, right? So I forgot what my question was going to be, but you're on the way back and stopped here, and you're going to spend the winter up in Quartzsite. So you're full-time nomads in your RV. You're work camping. How does someone find out about work camping responsibilities? That was the question I had in my mind. If someone wants to learn to be a work camper, wants to look at work camping opportunities, how do they do that?
Well, what we did was talk to people.
Word of mouth.
We stayed at Quartzsite a few winters ago, and we just talked to people. So word of mouth. I got online and did some looking online, but we found this company through some other work campers.
Oh, okay.
Quartzsite does have the big tent and the work drive. I forget what it's called, but where they go and look for work campers.
Yeah. The big RV tent there in Quartzsite.
Right.
Okay. So did they have a booth set up there?
Yes, but we didn't attend that.
Okay.
So we basically talked to some other work campers who did attend that and got hired at the tent.
Oh, I see.
And they said, this company is still looking for people. Here's their website. We went online and applied.
All right. So you put an application in now. Do they do a background check on you or something, or do you know?
I don't. They didn't say they did a background check.
Okay.
Pretty sure they checked some references, but I don't
Okay.
think they
So you had to
actually did a
put
background
references
check.
down in your application?
Right.
Okay.
Which we hadn't work camped before, so we just put our previous work experience. How will that relate to work camping? Customer service.
Sure.
I mean, you're dealing with customers, you're dealing with campers, so
Yeah.
that's key. If you have good customer service skills, you'll do great with this.
Interesting. All right. So you had a pretty good. Are you going to do that same camp area? Or are you going to look for new opportunities next year?
We did 2 summers up there, and I think it's time for us to look elsewhere.
To move on.
So
Yeah.
we saved a little bit this last time, and we're going to take the winter off and just spend some time in Quartzsite, visiting people, catching up on our channel, and then when the tent comes, we're going to go this time actually and mingle and see what else is available.
I see. So, guys, if you haven't seen seeouRVview's channel, I put it in the thumbnail there, so make sure you check it out. Now, on your channel, you started in 2017. You've done a mixture of things. You're full-time. You've done some cooking
Right.
in an RV, and that's interesting. When you're a nomad, that's one of the challenges is making good, wholesome meals while you're on the road and living in the RV because you're limited on space, right?
Right.
You don't have a lot of room to store a lot of food. So in the cooking, sometimes when you're boondocking is a challenge too. So you've got to manage that too.
Well, so you've got space to refrigerate your food, it's countertop space to prepare it. Plus, when you're cooking in an RV, you heat it up real quick. So can we cook outside? Is it warm enough? Is it weather prevent? Would it be better to just cook it outside versus inside? So you are faced with those challenges
So outside would be a good idea, especially when it's hot out.
Right.
When you're boondocking, it's hot out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then
that
during
makes
the
sense.
winter, you would probably want, something running inside to kind of help keep some of the heat in there. But mostly, I try to cook outside when we can.
Okay.
And I really like the Blackstone and the cooking on the grill and that. But we can also bring electric out and run the Instant Pot and
Sure.
whatever you need outdoors.
So what would you say is what would your recommended appliance be for a nomad cooking while you're boondocking? You mentioned Instapot. Is that something that is kind of your go-to?
The Instant Pot is really something I never knew I needed. I knew I didn't want one, but I didn't know I needed it. Now I know I need it, and I also want it because that thing does wonders.
Does it really?
It really does. It meals that used to just take a long time cooking, and not that it just makes it quicker, but you can sear in it. You can do a lot of the stuff in the one pot, so you're only dirtying one dish.
Oh, I see.
So it's not really the time as much as it is the convenience of it for me, and not having to use a lot of water cleaning all these other pots and pans.
How many Instant Pots have you wore out?
One.
So you're on your second one?
Yep. Mel and Nettie gave us our first one.
Oh, is that right?
Because they found out we didn't have one, and Nettie's like, "You really need an Instant Pot. Here, take mine.
Yeah.
We have an extra one. Take it."
Right.
So we took it, and I started using it, and found out I loved it, and we wore that thing out.
Well, and that's part of our community, right? Is helping each other out, especially when you're out camping together. I don't think you have enough light on you, mister. When you're out camping together and you're learning from each other, I'm going to turn this light over here a little bit. You're learning from each other. We're all about helping each other out, so that's great. So let me get back here into the chat. I know I'm way behind here, but everybody is chit-chatting. Let me get back here, scrolling. Okay, there's Jill saying hello to seeouRVview. So, folks, if you haven't checked their channel out, highly recommend it. You throw in a little comedy there sometimes too.
Every now and then.
You know, you've got to enjoy life, right? Enjoy life. And there's seeouRView right there. So, if someone could post a link for seeouRView, I'm not sure if you've done that, moderators, but oh, look at this. Tim says, seeouRView, I heard that you make great egg rolls.
You know, I think we're going to have an egg roll cook-off, Tim.
Okay, Tim. All right, Tim. We have Tim and Tim with an egg roll cook-off coming up. And Quartzite, you guys just need to negotiate the date.
Yep.
So Blistering Barnacles is saying hello. Oh, here we go. Gracie definitely does. So there's Crystal probably right there, right?
Probably.
So Crystal's in the chat. Gracie definitely does. Mobang for your bugs. I think we got the gauntlet thrown down here. There's your link. So be sure to stop in and check out seeouRView. He's up over 500 now, and that's good. Let's see who else we have here. Oh, don't forget the bears, Tim.
The bears.
The bears. Did you guys have bears up there?
We had bear sightings. I seen one bear the season before last, right at the end of the season. But other campers, we had several bear sightings, several indicators that bears were in the campground.
So you're in Colorado. You're in the mountains. You're 9,000 feet elevation. You're right in bear country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One lady, they've learned how to spot the Yeti coolers.
Oh, they have
the gray ones that don't look like a cooler.
Yeah.
Lady had one in her car, didn't cover a towel over it or anything, and the bear came and pulled the trim off of her car and scratched up the door trying to get to it.
Is that right?
They can recognize them now.
Wow. So remember that, folks. If you're even camping in a car, in a van, they can recognize the Yeti coolers. And they can probably smell food too.
They can smell food, but in those coolers, you know, they're latched pretty tight, and they're supposed to be bear proof.
Are they?
And yet they can spot them.
Interesting. Let's see who we have here. I don't think Kim can see the chat. Oh, yeah, we're kind of talking here, so we're probably way behind. But I'm going back. There's seeouRView. There's Tracy posting seeouRView's link again. Thanks, Tracy. There's Melanetti.
Hi, Melanetti.
Hi, guys. How you doing? Where are you guys at nowadays? Let's see. Scrolling. We have RV Life with Adrian and Ruth. Hello, guys. How you doing? Thanks for joining us tonight. Happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well. Small Town Tourist up in Mesa. Great channel. He did a video on out by the Superstition Mountains up there, which is a great video. I was at a campsite in Utah one time on my Harley and got yelled at for going 5 miles per hour. I think they didn't like my Harley. So that must have been in a campground. If I would have gone any slower, I would have fallen over. Yeah. Well, the speed limits in the campgrounds are for dust control and safety and all of that, right? And you come putting through on a Harley, everybody's looking at you. Tracy saying hello. Ava Potterfield saying hello. We have Filipino Home Gardening here, and thank you for coming in. Appreciate it very much. Hope you're doing well over there. There's Melanetti. Melanetti needs some watch hours, folks. So if you can run their playlist, I'm not sure where they're at in watch hours, but they have their 1,000 subscribers. They need some watch hours. I can walk faster than that, Tim says. Yeah. Tim has made it all across the country, and he's visited all the 48 states capitals. And he goes into the capital of each state, and he does a quick 360 while he's in, at the Capitol building in downtown. And then he gives you a quick tour around there, and he's gone to all 48.
Wow.
Pretty amazing, yeah.
That's neat.
And he does pretty good egg rolls, too.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. I've eaten them.
I have not.
You'll have to. Tim, are you going to a quartzite? You better, buddy. You got a competition to take care of here. My buddy rolled in on his Honda Goldwing, and no one said anything to him. Well, small town tourist, there you go.
They probably didn't even hear that Honda.
Probably not. So I have a Harley in the garage and a Goldwing. So they're getting ready to repave our road out here. We have a terrible road, and I haven't been able to ride much. But in 2 weeks, we're going to have new asphalt on our road, and guess what? I'm going to dust my bikes off, and we're going riding. So Tracy's in Virginia. She's looking at an RV, and one of her neighbors has an RV that he's thinking about selling to her. I'm not sure if she's decided what to go, but she's thinking about doing a nomadic lifestyle. Her husband passed away some time ago, and she's considering doing a nomadic lifestyle. So would you recommend being a nomad, full-time nomad?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are the advantages of being a full-time nomad? Well, you don't have a house payment, right?
Right.
You don't have any taxes to pay on the house. You don't have the maintenance, upkeep on the house. There's a whole list of things that you don't have to worry about. You don't have as much stuff.
Right.
So you downsize.
But on the other side of that is you still have maintenance on your home.
On your RV or your van or
It's
whatever
either
is your home.
fifth wheel, your trailer, your van,
Right.
whatever.
Okay.
You still have maintenance on that. And depending on what you have, those maintenance costs can get pretty high, just like a house. So you've got life that you have to deal with, regardless of whether that life is in a stationary house or in a bus or in a tent or walking across the country.
Yeah.
You still have life, and life throws everyday things at you. And it's just a challenge sometimes on how to handle those things, because you handle it differently. In order to make repairs on your motorhome, for instance, you got to find somewhere else to live while it's in the shop, unless you find a mechanic that can let you live in it while it's in the shop.
Right. So you guys had an issue coming back from Colorado.
Yes.
Coming back from Colorado, you had an engine problem you had to deal with, right?
Yes.
And so you were not stranded, but you were in a hotel for a while.
Yeah, for 30 days, 31, 32 days in a hotel.
Okay.
And, while the RV was in the shop, sitting there because they didn't have mechanics to work on it.
Wow.
So, and then when they did get somebody to work on it, it was just a big job.
Yeah.
But again, it's really just life. You have challenges, you overcome them, and you keep on going. I was going somewhere with that a minute ago, and it just went out the door.
Well, you've got tires. You probably replaced your tires. I think you replaced your tires in Quartzsite a couple of years ago. I remember that. And I'm coming up on my RV. It's a 2015. It's got the original tires on it. with almost 50,000 miles. They're 7 years old,
Mm-hmm.
which they recommend when they hit 7 years old, it's time to replace them. So I'm looking at probably over $3,000 for a set of tires, and maybe 3,500, or who knows what they cost nowadays with inflation and all that.
And you've got, things like roof sealing, solar maintenance, battery maintenance. You still got to deal with utility services like trash, water, sewer. Just like a house, you have to pay those services.
Yeah.
Well, when you're in an RV, you do too. You either pay for full hookups, you go pay to dump, you go buy your water somewhere. So, you have the same challenges, just in a different setting.
I see. That makes sense, yeah. But your yard can change whenever you feel like changing it.
I don't miss not having or mowing a lawn.
Is that right?
I don't miss mowing.
You don't
I don't miss mowing a lawn. I
Mowing a
don't miss
lawn,
it at
yeah.
all.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
I don't want to ever mow a lawn
Yeah.
again.
I hear you. But you can turn the key and off you go and find a new yard to admire.
Right. And we do, hiking, litter pickup, that kind of stuff that takes the place of, doing your yard work. You have a certain amount of pride in picking up around your house and watering your plants and watching well, ours now is just in a whole bigger area. It's a forest.
Yeah.
And we still take
that,
pride in picking up that forest.
Right. So out here in the Ironwood Forest National Monument, we have a bunch of campsites out here, and I went out. I like to jump in the Jeep and cruise around and say hello to people and pick up trash, because there are people that throw their trash into fire pits. You'll have fire pits. You probably had this work camping where somebody leaves and they leave all their beer cans in the fire pit and all their trash. So before the winter visitors come in to these camp areas, and it's all dry camping, I run around and I picked out all the fire pits, picked up trash all over, and I ran across a couple from Kansas. They were from Topeka, Kansas, that helped me out there. But it was interesting. They were really happy that somebody was out there helping to clean up, because their campsite was pretty trashed too. But I like to do that too.
And like I said, there's a sense of pride and accomplishment that comes with it, as if it is your own backyard.
Yes, yeah. And you're probably the same as we are, and you try to leave your campsite better than you found it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So scrolling, let's see who else we have here. So Tracy says, my husband and stepfather all rode Harleys. We're talking motorcycles tonight. I have a Suzuki Savage 650 Thumper. You know what a Thumper is, right? That's a single cylinder, I think, isn't it? Single cylinder.
I hadn't heard that in a long time.
Yeah, I think Mobank. I didn't know Mobank was a biker. Did you?
I didn't.
We need some video, Tim. We need some video of you running down the road in your 650 Thumper. Small Town Church says, I finally gave up riding about a year ago. Oh, Mel and Nettie say they have we love our Instapot. Yeah. And we have one too. Okie cooks a lot with it. It is fun. I'm too darn cheap to pay for a hog, Tim says. So he's got a Suzuki. Too many close calls. Yeah. Small town tourists in Mesa up there. I know it's in Arizona and the big cities, probably around the country, is pretty scary when you're cruising around on a bike, because you don't have any protection. I mean, you're just out there. They are fun. Paying it forward, exactly. And Mel and Nettie, they're just awesome people, aren't they?
They're the best.
Yeah. We met them up in Quartzsite a couple of years ago when COVID was just getting cranked up. And Nettie was going through that Not fun, but she got through it. So again, check out Mel and Nettie's channel. They need some watch hours, folks. So run some of their playlists for them. Oh, a jet boil, and I love it. Many cups of coffee. I think I watched somebody do a video on jet boil. Maybe it was Small Town Tours. Scrolling. Yeah, we're running along here. We got 17 people in here. Stepfather had to stop riding. It got too much for him once he got cancer. Oh, that's too bad. Nell and Nettie are sharing seeouRView's link. Tracy's got it up there. Man, you're going to have some subs tonight, Tim.
Awesome.
That's good. Tim, roll off. I'll be the taster. Okay, Tracy's going to be, Tracy, you want to be the judge, the taster and the judge? Oh, Clock Family Adventures this year. Hello, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it very much. Hope you're doing well. Clock Family Adventures, my friend Tim from seeouRView stopped by to visit us on their way up to Quartzsite. And so they were down in Texas taking care of some business, and they're headed back to Quartzsite to spend the winter up there in the long-term. You're in the long-term camping area there in La Posa South. And how's that working out so far?
So far, so good. I don't know if everybody else knows how it works, but for the long-term visitor center up there, you can either opt to buy a 2-week permit for $40, which allows you to camp there and use the dump station and the water and the dumpster facilities. Or you can do the $180 for the entire season.
And so the season is how many months?
That is from October to April.
So you're talking October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So 6 months?
Right.
So 6 months, $140 makes it how much per month? Like $20 a month?
$180, but yeah, it's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap. That way. Yeah. So you're getting trash service, availability for trash service. Right. You have a dump station and all the water that you need. Right. You just have to go get it from the well.
Rather than having to go pay to dump and buying your water, for that 180, you don't have to move for 6 months, and you've got water, dump, and trash right on site.
Oh, and you have some other folks up there too, where you guys are camping, right?
Right.
So you have Roy and Becky's Travels is up there, and another number of other YouTube creators are up there as well. So, and we hope to get up there to hang out with you guys after Thanksgiving is what we're planning on doing.
I hope so too.
Let's see who else we have here. Oh, Oreo Speedwagon is here. How you guys doing? Oreo Speedwagon, I just found them on recently and started watching their content. Husband and wife team, Tommy and Rachel. That's why the RT is there. They are full-time in a van and very good content. I mean, they're as real as it gets when it comes to van life. So check out Oreo Speedwagon. Interesting channel name. I really like it. First, I thought it was, what's the band name? I thought it was a band. Wow, there's a band doing YouTube content. And then I looked, Oreo. Okay, it's Oreo Speedway. But good channel. I'm enjoying watching Tommy and Rachel. Everybody's saying hello. All right, Mel and Nettie, we are at Lake Tawakoni. Tawakoni. You know where that is?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that?
That's a Thousand Trails Park in northern Texas, right up on the
okay.
Texas. Well, wait a minute. Texoma is on the Texas border. This one's in Point, Texas,
Okay, so in
which
Texas,
is
huh?
east of Dallas.
Okay, nice area.
It's way out in the country. It's beautiful out there.
Is it?
It's
That's
very
good.
beautiful and peaceful, and that lake is one of the prettier ones. It's got sunsets for days out there.
Oh, I'll bet. You know, all my travels, all our travels, Oki and I traveled through Texas a few times, and just everywhere we stopped, the people in Texas were just friendly as can be. We always enjoy going through Texas. Ron Darrell's here. Hey, Ron, how you doing? Good to see you. I'm going to maximize this so I can see the chat better. Hey, that's better, huh?
For our aging eyes?
Yeah, for
Definitely.
our aging eyes. Everybody's saying hi to Ron. Ron Darrell does a live stream at 9:30 Mountain Time, Arizona time, I should say. So if I'm still awake, I usually try to pop in there and say hello. Oh, you're welcome, guys. You're welcome. I'll try to watch more, I believe. Yeah, sometimes you just they have a number of what's the word I'm looking for? Lists of videos set up where you can just kick them off. Playlists. They've got some playlists running, and you can kick them off and just kind of listen to it in the background if you're busy doing. Ron saying hello. It's the mecca of nomadic quartzites, so I wouldn't miss it for anything. So it looks like we're on. We're on.
Oh.
Boom. We're on.
Does that mean we have an egg roll cook-off in the works?
I think so.
Oh, boy.
That could be a statewide event. I mean, people will come from near and far to see that.
Or to eat them.
Or to eat them. I know we'll be there. Yeah, it is perfect riding season for sure. Small town tours. I'm looking forward. So you've been on our road. What do you think of our road? Yeah, pretty bad, huh?
Well, it says 30 miles an hour, but you don't dare go it.
No, not if you want to keep your teeth in your head.
Or the muffler underneath.
Or your muffler, yeah. Yeah, I've had parts fall off my cars. Oh, he said, okay, so Tracy's looking at that RV, and I think her qualifying, decision is whether he can get it running or not. So it's an older RV. There's Melanetti's playlist, guys. That's good. So, Tracy, if you could remind us, and I may be way behind in the chat, but if you could remind us what year that RV was. Now, you guys have a, what year, 90?
93.
93. And you've had to do some work on it. And that's what I cautioned Tracy about, was if you get an older RV, you need to be able to work on some things to keep it going, because you're going to have maintenance. But in my opinion, and you correct me if I'm wrong, the older RVs, I think, are built better.
Right.
As far as the body goes, and that sort of thing.
They're more solid.
More solid.
What was I going to say with that? The trend seems to be, people just like us have realized that when you go with a Class A or a bus, something that size, you're extremely limited on who can work on it, who will work on it, availability of mechanics. With the Class C, not a whole lot smaller, but with the Class C, just being a different class, your normal everyday auto mechanics aren't intimidated, and they're more likely to take it in and help you out with it if you got issues. So with the big Class A, you got specialized mechanics. In the Class C, just about anybody. And that's why right now Class A prices are going down, but Class C prices are still going up. So
Interesting.
kind of really take a look at that.
Yeah.
And do you really need that extra, 5 or 10 feet that Class A is going to give you? Now it does give you a lot more storage underneath, but do you really need it, or can you fit in something a little smaller?
Sure.
Gracie and I have found now we can go a little smaller.
But also, if you're living in a full time, I mean, it's nice to have the extra room.
There's no extra room.
There is no extra
because
room.
you're going to fill it up.
Regardless of how big it is.
Right. There's no extra room.
You're going to collect until you have to throw something away to bring something else
Or
in.
at least that's how we do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But, given that option and that knowledge now, if we were in the market and looking and trying to decide on whether or not to purchase one, I would look at that, whether it's a Class C or a Class A. Do we have the financial support to take care of a Class A?
Right, because it can get expensive.
Yes.
As you pointed out, and probably less expensive for a C and much less expensive for a van.
Right.
Like Tim, Mo Bang for Your Bucks, has a van, and he does, I don't know if you call them no builds, but he's got his bed and his setup in there for cooking and storage and that sort of thing. And he's a part-timer, but he does a lot of traveling, and he does share videos on as he develops his van and modifies it. He shares videos on what he does. And so Mo Bang for Your Bucks is a great resource for anybody that's looking to build a van. And you just buy a minivan, off the street. He's got an older minivan that he uses, and he's built it in such a way so if he does decide to sell it, he can just take everything out and and put everything back to normal. He hasn't taken the seats or anything out. He works around those. Hi, Linda. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, Tracy, that's not sure if I'm going to get it if I can't get it running. I mean, if it's not running, Tim, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Unless it's really a super nice condition. You just don't know. Don't know what you're up against, especially Tracy, not knowing, if you have to dump a bunch of money in it. And of course, it depends on your financial situation. I mean, if money is no object, might be okay. Yeah, it is a lot of fun, Tommy and Rachel. It is a lot of fun up there. Quartzsite is a good time.
Yeah.
Even sitting around a campfire. I was talking to JT, the American Wanderer. A couple of years ago, we were in Quartzsite. We're all sitting around the campfire, having a couple of beers and chit-chatting. And I asked, was commenting about how hard it is to grow vegetables down here in the desert in southern Arizona. And he gave me some information on wicking boxes. He said, well, did you ever try a wicking box? I said, what's a wicking box? So he explained that to me. He did that kind of work for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have a bunch of wicking boxes that we put together, and we're growing all kinds of vegetables now because they contain the water,
Right.
that the plants need to grow. And so that's what this community is all about, is helping each other, sharing knowledge, mutual support.
Well, you just hit the key word, because just like the YouTube and the contacts, the people that it brings together, that's what Quartzsite does.
Yeah.
Quartzsite brings people together and helps people find their community. And it's really about finding people that you connect with. And that's what we found in Quartzsite. We started our journey in 2017, and we went 4 years out there from campground to campground and really didn't make friends. We didn't make those connections.
Were you in Thousand Trails?
We were in Thousand Trails, And basically, we had neighbors, we had acquaintances, we met a couple that we kept in touch with.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, until we showed up at Quartzsite, we didn't know what we were missing.
Mm-hmm.
We did not realize there was a bigger, stronger, better community that to be a part of.
Yeah.
And that's what Quartzsite gave us.
And so Roy and Becky, Roy had an issue with his batteries, and you helped rewire the battery bank. I saw that
Right.
on one of his posts. So that's basically what you're talking about, is pitching in and helping each other.
Right.
And sometimes you find women who are nomads by themselves, and they need some extra help, maybe with a solar panel wiring or something like that. And so, people help them out. And I've seen a lot of that too. That's great. So scrolling. Let's see here. Tires are not cheap. No, they're not. In fact, I might have to get a work camping job to get a set of tires on the RV. I don't know.
Well, we are kind of lucky, and as our RV takes 16-inch tires, they still need to be the E-rated heavy duty, but yours, I think, has bigger ones than that. It's
they're
like
19 and a half inches. Yeah.
Those are going to be a little more to replace than mine are.
Oh, thanks a lot, Tim. Double the price on the tires now. Thanks a lot. Tim's always bringing.
That's something to look at if you're looking at an RV. What size tires are on?
Right. Oh, that's a good point.
Because 16 inches are a lot less expensive than the ones above that.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I'm learning that. I'm going to be learning that here real soon when I start calling around. I think I can make it to Quartzsite and back. But if I have a flat, I'll call you.
Okay.
All right.
I'll send Coach Ned out.
Okay. Yeah. Instead of a new roof, you buy tires. That's a good point, Busby. Yeah. I can't wait. Oh yeah, Tracy's in Virginia. Okie and I were stationed there for 3 years. We know about where she's at. There's definitely a lot of grass there. It's a perk for living in the desert. Probably not having to mow your yard, right? Let the grass die, Tracy. Spray a moisture of dish soap. Oh, Tim, Virginia, everything grows. You're not gonna kill that grass. I mean, you're talking acres and acres. You might kill it, but it's growing back, I guarantee you. Yeah, I'll bet you guys do. That's too bad. Trash in the fire pits. There's nothing worse than pulling up and you find a really nice, beautiful campsite and you got to clean the fire pit out.
Yep. And see, what a lot of people don't realize, especially in state parks, you get caught burning trash in your fire pit and you might be faced with a $300 fine.
Is that right?
Because it attracts bears.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Especially if it's food trash.
Yeah. So you're bringing bears in. Bears are obviously, you're not going to corner a bear, but if you get in between a bear and say their exit, you could be in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ron Darrell's got a nice Harley with a sidecar. I saw a picture of that. And Ron Darrell's supposed to come up here sometime. Maybe I'd like to meet him, look him in the eye, shake his hand. Would love to meet you, Ron. Okay, Ava, you may already be gone, but thank you for coming in. Appreciate it very much. We're coming up on 56 minutes, 57 minutes. Oh, I've hit tumbleweeds on my bike before. When you see a tumbleweed rolling across the road, you kind of try to judge your speed and angle so that you miss it. But if you don't miss it, you just run over it. That's all you can do. Hello, Timmy Ray. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Scrolling. RV with Adrian and Ruth. Let's see. Oh, Tracy Carroll is here. Hello, Tracy. Good to see you. Oh, Tracy from Virginia loves egg rolls. So I think Tracy from Virginia, you may have to schedule a road trip out here to be the judge. Timmy's saying hello. Eat a shrimp egg roll tonight for dinner. Ooh, that's yummy. That's one thing in Virginia, they have pretty good seafood. I remember that. All right, there's Oreo Speedwagon's channel, folks. Check them out. That's a real van life, no doubt about it. Scrolling. Trying to catch up here. Did I see hello, Kelly? Did I miss Grandma Kelly? Oh, there she is. Grandma Kelly is driving and listening, so I'll be able to just say hi. Grandma Kelly, I learned quite a bit from her. She does live streams. And one thing that she did growing her channel, and you and I were talking about that a little bit tonight, is doing more shorts.
Right.
And she showed on her live stream how you could take an existing video that you have on your channel, use your phone, and then open that up and then pick 15 seconds out of that video and make a short out of it. And then repost that short. And so I started doing that, and I picked up probably 70 or 80 subscribers that way.
Interesting.
Yeah. Have you played with that? Yeah.
I've seen that. I just recently got the option to pull clips out of my videos, but I haven't played with it yet.
Yeah. If you click on the shorts button, you can do it through that too. Okay. So play around with it. It does work, and Grandma Kelly's all about helping folks out. She's got a lot of new folks, new content creators that follow her channel, and she'll bring them up on the panel and basically show them what it's like to be interviewed. She gives, her advice on how to grow your channel and things like that. And she's done a lot of good for the community. She's a magnet fisher woman, goes around to the local lakes, and her channel is a lot about magnet fishing. And so, she pulls out, of course, lots of trash and nails and things like that, but she's got a number of nice knives. Can you imagine fishing off a pier and you're cutting bait and kerplunk? Your favorite knife goes into the water.
No.
Well, Grandma Kelly has got your knife.
She's probably found it.
Yeah. She's done that a lot.
I wonder if she follows or watches Happy Place Camping. They do a lot of magnet fishing.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Happy Place in her live streams, but
I haven't seen them in a while.
Happy Place Camping does that, yeah. Happy Place Camping's been doing a lot of camping, and there's Lucky Dog, moderator. Hello, Sue. Thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Sue has a live stream too, and her husband has I guess you call it a game, but it's basically driving an 18-wheeler around on, right now he's on farmland, picking up and dropping off. It's interesting to watch his channel. It's Lucky Dog Productions is the name of his channel, and Sue's name is Lucky Dog Productions Moderator. I think because the women are the boss most of the time.
She keeps Lucky Dog in line.
Yeah. I know Oki keeps me moderated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gracie does me too.
Are you safe and above water, Sue? Okay, so it's the 1993 Fleetwood Coronado RV. So that's about the same vintage as you have.
Ours is a 1993 Fleetwood Southland. So I wonder if that's got the 460 CI motor in it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But your motors run pretty good. You had an issue with oil pressure.
Oil pump, yep.
And so you had to have the oil pump replaced. That was expensive. That's what put you guys in the motel for a month, right?
Right.
So be careful, Tracy. Move forward with caution. Good gracious, one more year and it's 30 years old. But again, you know, the older RVs, I've been in a lot of them, compared to the one I have, 2015, I mean, it's paper thin. It's not going to last 30 years. I already know that. Bus is a 1991, but that's a good bus. That's one of those Prevos.
And the point to really consider when it comes to that is, you know, your RV is a bit newer and it's made a little thinner, but you don't use it full time, so it will last you longer than someone who does use it full time. So if you're planning on using full time and you can find one in good shape, an older model is definitely the better way to go because they were built better, they were built with better materials, they were built to last longer, and they're solid.
So Tracy says he wants to give it to me for free. He's neglected it mechanically. What would your advice be? And he can't get it started right now.
I'd have to dig into it and see what it would take to get it started, because if it's just, you know, been sitting there, if it was running when it sat, chances are you can get it going.
Right. Yeah. I'd be cautious though.
And you know, even Tracy, even if you can get it running and you decide that it's not the right one for you, if it's free, you can turn around and sell it.
That's a good point. Yeah. So maybe it might be worth, maybe if she knows a good mechanic, maybe having a mechanic look at it.
Right.
Maybe give her some advice, and depending on how many miles it has on it too, would be a factor too. Because a lot of RVs don't get that many miles. I don't know how many miles this one has on it, but Bridget died of a heart attack suddenly, and he just dropped doing. Okay, so that must have been his wife. He just stopped doing so much after that. He's let it sit for years. Oh, that's too bad. I know when you lose your partner, and Tracy, you know all about that. I know. You lose your partner, it's just everything changes for sure.
If it's just been sitting there, you know, a good tune-up, oil change, transmission fluid change, go through it real good, you might be able to get that running.
All right, so let's tell folks about our experience. So my daughter had a 1987 Class C sitting in her yard for a number of years, and it was just kind of wasting away. And you and I got it running again.
Yep.
And so it is doable if it's got a good basic engine in it, which this one was in decent shape. It needed all new fluids. We had to put a battery. I put a starter on it before you got here, but you know, we got that thing cranked up and you drove it up there to Colorado.
Yeah. The interesting, when we first cranked it, we had flames coming out of the tailpipe. Okay, it was backfiring, but as the oil and the marble, we put marble Mistral in it, and as that got in there and worked the lifters and everything free, it quietened down, and you know, the more we ran it, the better it ran.
Yeah.
So that by the time I turned around and sold it, it was firing right up.
Yeah, that's good. And the older ones, that's an 82, similar to Roy and Becky's. Roy and Becky's, yours is an 87, theirs is an 82, but about the same vintage. Right. And they really like theirs. Question. Has anyone heard from New Horizons Susan and her husband? I've seen New Horizons in the chat in some live streams I've been in. Not in the last few days, though. So hopefully everything's okay with them. Is Brene here? Look at that. Fairy dust, sweep the wild winds. Hi, Brene. How are you? Hoping to see you up there in Quartzsite. I thought you said you were headed up there. Saying hello. I'm concerned about them because they were going to stay there with the hurricane. Oh, okay. There's a hurricane. Is that going through Florida?
Probably.
Yeah. Everybody's saying hello. Steve, what is that box called? And do they have a video on that box? What is that box called? Tracy, I'm trying to figure out what you're referring to. What is that box called? Yep. And Grandma Kelly, you're a big part of this community, so what you're doing is great work there. You've helped a lot of people out, and I certainly have learned from you. Wicking boxes. Oh, wicking boxes. Okay, that box I was referring to. Thanks, Jill. So, wicking box, I don't know if you guys get around to construction areas where they have these plastic totes with a cage around them, and they pick them up with a forklift, and they usually have chemicals in them, water soluble chemicals. And what you do with those is you cut them in half, flip them over. I put a hose bib on each one, and then I fill them up with about 6 or 8 inches of sand in the bottom, and then put potting soil in on top of that. And because they're plastic, you can drain off any excess water, but they hold the water better than just planting directly into the ground, because you can see behind me here, this is all desert, very dry. You plant anything and that moisture is just going to be wicked away. So having a container of some type, and these wicking boxes work really well. If you Google wicking box or wicking bed, there's all kinds of information out there on them. Hey, Bree. Bree, you're never late. When Bree's in the house, then we are somebody when TGIF is in the house. Thanks, Bree. Appreciate you coming in. Bree is the waterfall lady. She does, she's a waterfall chaser.
I love waterfalls.
Oh, they are beautiful.
I love listening to them. It's like listening to the rain.
Yeah. Very relaxing. And Bree's got some good ones up there in the Northwest. Yeah, Norfolk, Virginia. That's where Tracy is. Bruce would kill me. Hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. 22 thumbs up, 22 watching. Appreciate the support. Absolutely. And appreciate everybody's time. Wow, we're an hour and 11 minutes.
Oh, boy. Time flew.
Yeah. So let me catch up. Can you remind me who's on the panel? Sorry, I'm late. Okay, so Bree, this is Tim from seeouRView.
Hi.
So seeouRView, and that's on the thumbnail. They're full-time nomads, good friends of ours. They're passing through town from Texas, heading back up to Quartzsite. They had some business to take care of in Texas. Now they're heading back to Quartzsite, and we always enjoy spending a few days with them when they pass through. So seeouRVview, Tim, Gracie, and Crystal, the family that are work campers, and they're going to take some time off and stay up in Quartzsite for in the long-term LTVA, long-term visitors area for the winter. And we're going to head up and hang out with them after Thanksgiving. Okay, thank you, Adrian and Ruth. Everyone have a great Veterans Day tomorrow. That's right, it is Veterans Day. Mo bang for your bucks. Are we getting serious? Great excuse to come to Arizona. Whoa, Gina's in the house. Hi, Gina. Van Life with Gina.
Hi, Gina.
Hope you're doing okay. Hope Jacob is doing all right. I fried a T-bone and corn on the cob. So Ron Darrell is bragging about his dinner. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Oh, it's in the title. My bad. It's okay, Bree. It's okay. Yeah, you're all right, Bree. You're all right. Let's see who else we have here. Quiet listeners here. Hello. Thank you for coming in. Another good channel. She does Indian flute music, which is nice, very relaxing. Tonight, what happened to Rocky when he went down last night? Oh, so Ron's got a dog. I don't know if it's a boxer or a boxer mix, and his name is Rocky, and he's a busy boy. Victoria is Quiet Listener. So if you haven't checked out Quiet Listener, she's got some beautiful flute music, and she plays the flute, and that's something I really enjoy. Now, Ava Potterfield has a mediations channel, and she does about 6-hour long. They're like moon videos with music to go along with it. It's like good relaxation.
Oh, wow.
Music. And I've gone to sleep to that a couple of times. Okay, time for me to head off. Why is this not showing? I'm not clicking the right button. There we go. Okay, Sue, thank you for coming in. We're not going to be much longer. I just want to catch up. On Daryl saying hi to Gina. So, what do you have coming up on your channel for videos? You took some video in Texas while you were there?
We visited Fort McCabbett, which is a little known fort in Texas that actually housed the Buffalo Soldiers, which were the 4 regiments of completely black soldiers. And they have quite a bit of history there. The place, some of the history says that it was abandoned for a period of time, but the caretaker says no, it was never abandoned, that the owners just went back to New York for a little while and then sent someone there to sell it.
Oh.
But anyway, the place was all the buildings were sectioned off and the whole place was auctioned off to the public.
Oh, really?
So in one day, the public came in and bought all the houses and moved in, and it became a town overnight.
Oh, wow.
And then in the early 60s, the Historical Society wanted to start preserving it, so they had to start buying back the property from the private owners.
Oh,
and now
okay.
it's all restored as a fort. And it's one of the, how did they word it? It's one of the best preserved forts in Texas that actually show how things were laid out during the Indian-American War.
Okay. and it's been restored and preserved so people can go in and enjoy it.
Right, and
So-
there are still some of the barracks are still ruins, but a lot of the buildings are standing, and it's been preserved. They've actually taken the kitchen and restored it as an 1800s style kitchen where they actually cook on the hearth. And he said, like tomorrow night, they're having an event there. It's going to be a monthly event where they come in and cook on that.
Oh. So it would be like they did back in the old days.
Right.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. And I remember when we were in Virginia, not Virginia, it was New Hampshire. There was an old town up there in New Hampshire where you could do a walking tour, and women would be dressed in the period clothing back in the 1700s and cooking in their kitchens in some of the old houses there. So it's good. It's good to show the kids that,
And the caretaker that we talked to, I didn't film him, but he was dressed in the authentic clothing of the period. He said that he actually attended school back in the day when that was still a school. His mother actually graduated from there.
Oh.
And him and three other employees that take care of the place attended that school.
Really?
So
So you did a video on that visit there. When are you going to drop that on your channel?
that'll go out tonight at midnight.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and
sounds like it'd be an interesting video. So check out seeouRView. They're going to drop that. Does that come out at midnight tonight?
Right.
Okay, so that'll be posting at midnight tonight on seeouRViews. We have Buffalo Soldier stuff down there. So Busby Adventures is down in southern Arizona, even more southern than we are. So let me catch up. We have Van Life Rocks is here. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, I said, because you know why?
Because you're normally in the morning.
Because I usually have a live stream on Monday morning. Van Life Rocks just celebrated 5 years of full-time van life. Can you imagine? 5 years. That's about as real as it gets. Oh, Jill says they're doing a big project in Naco. Okay. Preservation project, probably. Good night, Tracy. Oh, it might be what Chuka City must be saying, yeah. And that's good when they're preserving history like that.
Yes.
$4.6 million renovation in Naco. Wow. I'd love to say good morning. Better than hi. Yeah. Camp is in Naco. So it's a camp they're restoring. Saw it in the news, Jill says. Okay, folks. So check out seeouRView, this channel, and going to be dropping a video tonight on their latest stop. And we're looking forward to hanging out with you guys in Quartzsite, along with some other folks up there that we haven't seen in a while. And looks like we've got a contest going on here.
I think so.
Contest. Yeah.
I think we done opened that can of worms.
All right. So we'll let everybody know when to show up in Quartzsite to sample those. And Jill, we need you up there. Not Jill, but Tracy, we'll need you up there to moderate that.
Hope to see you too soon, Nettie.
Yeah. Are they going to Quartzsite?
I'm not sure.
All right. Roll, scrolling. Okay. Thank you, Kenny and Debbie. Appreciate it very much. All right, we're going to hit the exit video. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Everyone taking time out of their Thursday evening. And we will see you next time.